Rinse produce and wipe down cans and packages with soap and water before you put them away. Wash your hands thoroughly for 20 seconds when you are done. Wash your clothes and your reusable grocery bags.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
What I love most about working for the Bahamas Tonight is that we don't only focus on New Providence. We cover the entire Bahamas. We have a team here in the Northern Bahamas that is ready to bring you the stories, the people, and the news that matter to you. From point A to Z, from covering hurricanes to elections and everything in between.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the Prime Minister announcing several changes to the country's emergency orders. Also, a Grand Bahama man hauled before the court on unlawful sexual intercourse and child pornography charges. And a young man facing eviction appealing to the Grand Bahama community. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Shashina Roe-Farkas, and as always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, making a special COVID-19 communication in Parliament this morning. The nation's leader announcing several changes to the country's emergency orders. He says anyone who has been fully vaccinated will no longer have to take a COVID-19 test in order to travel. Our Italia Hall has more. Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, noting that effective immediately, the daily curfew for Abaco will be moved to 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. The nation's leader also announcing that travelers within the Bahamas who have been fully vaccinated against the COVID-19 virus will be exempted from the COVID-19 test requirements that are currently in place when traveling from New Providence, Grand Bahama, Abaco, Exuma, and Eleuthera.
Effective the 1st of May, those traveling to the Bahamas from outside of the country will be exempted from a COVID-19 test if they are fully vaccinated and have passed the 2-week immunity period.
Now, proof of full vaccination will be required, and if an individual is not fully vaccinated, that individual will still be required to provide a negative COVID-19 test where testing requirements are in place. Now, fully vaccinated Junkanooers will be able to work in Junkanoo shacks. Additionally, it was announced that fully vaccinated persons will be allowed to dine indoors and attend gatherings with other fully vaccinated persons with minimal restrictions. As it relates to vaccines, the Prime Minister says the government has been informed by the Pan American Health Organization that the second tranche of the AstraZeneca vaccines through the COVAX facility will arrive in country before the end of May.
This tranche will consist of 33,000 doses. That leaves the remaining 34,200 doses to be received from the COVAX facility. Thus far, we have administered approximately 22,000 doses of the vaccine.
He says health teams were deployed on Tuesday to the various family islands to prepare for the start of vaccinations during the week of April 26. The vaccine will be available to all residents 18 years and older with a Bahamas government-issued ID.
Monday, April 26, Andros, Mayaguana, Inagua, Crooked Island, Auckland, Long Key, North, Central and South Andros, Ragged Island, and mainland Exuma. Tuesday, 27th of April, Ferry Islands, Great Harbour Key, Cat Island, San Salvador and Long Island, Exuma Keys, and Rum Key. On Wednesday, April 28th, North, Central, and South Eleuthera. And Friday, April 30th, Bimini.
The location of vaccination sites and the days and times for each island will be published on opm.gov.bs. That information will be widely circulated via other platforms as well.
Vaccinations, Mr. Speaker, are key to us getting out of this pandemic. In order to get back to normal, in order for our economy to fully open up, we need each Bahamian and resident to come forward to be vaccinated when eligible. Vaccines will help to prevent more sickness and death. We need our people to come forward quickly.
The Prime Minister says the Family Island locations will have online and on-site appointments. Family Island residents can make their appointments online at vax.gov.bs. Prime Minister Minnis encouraging Bahamians to do their part to continue to defeat the COVID-19 pandemic, and he's also inviting those who wish to volunteer to help in the vaccination program to do so. Persons can sign up to volunteer at covax@bahamas.gov.bs. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Minister of Health, the Honorable Ranwood Wells, also giving an update on the country's fight against COVID-19 in Parliament today. He says data clearly shows that the Bahamas is in another surge, noting that there is a similar pattern to the one seen at the beginning of the second wave. Minister Wells says New Providence continues to be the epicenter and the greatest contributor to the total COVID-19 burden in the country. Of the approximately 1,901 new cases reported between the beginning of 2021 to now, 1,079 of those cases have been in New Providence. The health minister confirming that there has been a quieting of new cases here in Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Eleuthera compared to prior weeks.
Hospitalization rates among active cases have increased in country as of ICU admission. In the beginning of January, deaths were 171. From then to now, Mr. Speaker, there has been a 13.5% increase in COVID-19 deaths.
Minister Wells says the National Reference Laboratory completed screening of some 120 COVID-19 positive samples collected from the 13th of March to the 17th of April 2021. From the analysis of these 120 samples, the National Reference Laboratory was able to make several conclusions.
There has been a weekly steady increase in the percentage of samples carrying the characteristic mutation present in all three of the variants. In the week of the 13th to the 19th of March 2021, approximately 20% of the COVID-19 positive samples screened contained the variant mutation. That's at the beginning of March. And during the most recent week, the analysis from the 11th to the 17th of April, last week, 2021, an alarming 80% of the samples screened, positive samples, contain the variant mutation.
Vaccinations began on March 14th, and so far just over 21,000 persons have taken the jab. 16,934 in New Providence, 3,814 in Grand Bahama, 832 in Abaco, and 938 in Eleuthera. Meantime, the Ministry of Health confirming 68 new cases of COVID-19 in the country. According to the latest health dashboard, 60 cases were confirmed in New Providence, 6 cases in Grand Bahama, 1 case in Exuma, and 1 case on Crooked Island. 7 newly confirmed cases had a history of travel within 14 days in New Providence. There are a total of 51 hospitalizations across the country. 9 are hospitalized in Grand Bahama. There are 464 active cases and 81 recoveries reported. The death toll stands at 194. Well, the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted virtually every sector of society globally. Tourism is perhaps one of the sectors hardest hit as the virus has brought the travel industry to a trickle. In this report, a leader in the transportation sector gives insight on the impact the pandemic has had on his business. Our Jamila Mizik reports.
One of the island's leading tour operators, H. Forbes Charter and Tours Limited, still seeing a decline in business due to the pandemic's impact on the cruise industry. Owner Hadley Forbes says his business has never experienced anything like this before.
No business, and it affects my employees very, very bad. It's because they don't have any work at all either. And we are just waiting and hoping and praying that something very soon turn around. But the future looks bright.
Forbes notes that they are in talks with stakeholders throughout the U.S. and Europe as to when they will be able to resume business as usual. In the meantime, they are preparing for what's to come. He says he believes that now that a vaccine is available, tourism will pick back up in Grand Bahama.
The demand for Grand Bahama is greater than it ever was. We need now to prepare ourselves for when the people come, how we are going to serve them, and how we are going to protect ourselves interacting with them. We are prepared to do whatever diversifying we have to do to meet the needs of every single soul on Grand Bahama and by extension the Bahamas. We have all our equipment up, running, and we're just waiting for the business.
And he says so far there have already been a number of tourists expressing interest to visit this summer.
Booking is going well until we had already engaged all of the transportation providers on the island of Grand Bahama to join us and accommodating whatever people come to the island. We are prepared to handle them and give them the VIP treatment like we always did.
Now, although his business mainly caters to cruise passengers, he says the reopening of the Grand Bahama International Airport is of vital importance.
3 things is needed on Grand Bahama. And one is the international airport needs to be restored and reopened. A U.S. Customs and Immigration come back. And the hotels, every last one of them, be reopened to serve the surge of people which will flock Grand Bahama again.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
In news from the crime beat, 19-year-old Hayward Dorset of Sector A in Holmes Rock appearing before Magistrate LaQuay Lang today on the charges of unlawful sexual intercourse and child pornography. Dorset was not required to enter a plea. He was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services until July 28th for trial. Police say Dorset was arrested on April 14th after charges were filed against him by the father of a 13-year-old girl. And on to some sad news. The matriarch of the Southern District, Mabel Lottie Thomas Russell, has passed away. Mother Mabel, as she was affectionately called, was born in Waterkey on May 30th, 1917. During her early years, Mother Mabel was a midwife on Waterkey and a dressmaker. She also served as a missionary, Sunday school teacher, and a community counselor. At the age of 97, Mother Mabel became a published author of short sermons, and her book was featured on Amazon. Mother Mabel died at her home in Lewis Yard on April 7th at the age of 103.
Come on down. Come on down.
Hello, everyone. I'm Simeon Oughton, Senior Pastor here at New Life Worship Center, and I'm extending an invitation for you to come and worship with us Sundays at 9 to 11. Look forward to seeing you.
Thank you for letting us put shoes on your feet.
Valeria Caribbean, the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way to travel the United States. Been starting at $150 and passengers starting at $120.
I had a beautiful pregnancy, beautiful delivery. Everything was phenomenal. Ryan started to develop even more symptoms and signs and stuff of autism that was becoming so, it was a lot for us.
Having autism is not like, dealing with regular kids. You have to have a lot of patience. And right now, we're still learning.
He had a lack of speech. He had speech, and he had regressed to where he didn't have speech anymore. And I've learned to celebrate small achievements, small milestones. I have my times when I'm depressed and I'm stressed and I cry, and I have to just take a minute, deal with that, but get back in it.
Join us for the untold story of autism, April 28th through the 30th, only on the ZNS Network.
Your #1 news team covering the North. Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. A striving young man who has fallen on hard times is appealing to the community tonight. He says he is facing eviction and is in need of your help. Baloo, life has never been easy.
Me leave me at the age of 24 to take care of myself, but I was on my own from 8 years old, parking bike. And then after I get older, I went to boys' home. Children's home I grew up in. And I learned how to search for love I couldn't find. Still ain't found my daddy yet, even though I know of him.
He says even as a child, his struggle has been great.
I was like the age of 9, 10 years old. And learning how to love, looking for love at the same time. And can't forget working the parking bike and stuff. After I get beat with the garbage from a long time, I used to go and ask for food, Pizza Hut and stuff. And I learned how to. So as I get a little older, I went back to school around 13, 14. I just go to the boys' home, I tell them, thank you. I save like over $1,000 in the allowance we used to get every week, $5 allowance. I was amazed. And as I get older, I continue striving to get the best. And it wasn't easy. I had to keep pushing.
But despite Ishmael's challenges, he's always been a hard worker, from cleaning yards to windows and even commercial buildings. He's done it all and has never been afraid of hard work. But now Ishmael says he is in one of the toughest positions of his life as he is facing eviction.
Not easy. The morning where you can go next and you know if you can sleep in the car or sleep on top of the roof. You don't know what can happen in the moment. If the rain comes down, where your hair can be. So that's why looking at to understand. Eviction is a serious thing. So when you ain't got that job, it ain't easy. But when you have it, be thankful.
The humble, striving young man says with no family and nowhere to turn, he's appealing to the hearts of the community that he has served all of his life to give him a helping hand, adding that he is also willing to work.
I'm willing to clean a window or house clean, wherever you have me to do, or cut a yard sometime. But whatever it is I'm looking for, let the Father touch your heart to understand where I'm coming from and how I feel. And it's not easy.
If you wish to assist Ishmael, you can call him at 812-6303. In other news, preschoolers and those who are responsible for educating them being highlighted this week as schools across the island celebrate Preschool Week. Our ZNS News team stopped by the Freeport Primary School today where those students welcomed a special guest. Shamila Mizik reports.
It is Preschool Week, and preschools across Grand Bahama are commemorating under the theme Preschool, Embracing the New Norm. Education Officer for Early Childhood, Jeanette Hall, says the week is celebrated annually.
Preschool Week is done on an annual basis. We didn't do it last year because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but we said that even though the pandemic is still going on, we have to do something, even if most of the activities were planned virtually.
Hall says there are a number of activities planned, including a church service, preschool virtual show, and Teachers Appreciation Day. She notes the importance of the week.
The Preschool Week is when we stop and the principals, we want to recognize the principals, the teachers and teachers' aide for all of the hard and excellent work that they're doing here in the Bahamas.
The title of the book, Roman and the Pink Flamingos.
Now, the youngsters were also surprised with a special reading by the nation's leader, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis.
People all over the world know the Bahamas has the best pink flamingos. The pink birds will march around and around.
Hall says the week is always an enjoyable event for the students.
The preschoolers are excited. They were excited with the fact that they heard the Prime Minister read a story to them this morning, and then now they were extra excited when the police officer came in to read to them. They are just so excited about Preschool Week.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
It's time for our Munchin with Megan segment. Tonight, Megan is baking a tasty treat with a guest chef, Davina Rutherford. I did know Davina could cook, so this should be interesting.
Hey guys, welcome to my segment. Today, joining me in the kitchen is guest chef, Davina Rutherford. Davina, tell us what we're making.
Hey guys, today we're gonna be making coconut and pineapple tarts. You're gonna need flour, baking powder, salt, butter, lard, milk, eggs. So first, you're gonna add the lard and the butter to the mixer. You're going to add your flour, your baking powder, and your salt into a bowl, and then you pour in your mix. And as that is going, you're going to get your egg. And once you have your egg cracked, you put it in a measuring cup and you add your milk. As this continues to mix, you just add your eggs and your milk mixture gradually. Turn this off. If you have a handheld mixer, you switch and you put in your kneading handle. And if you don't have one, you do that on the counter by hand. But I've, upgraded since COVID, and I don't have to do all of the hard work. So after about a few minutes, it should look like this. You could flour the counter, and then you want to take your dough and put it on the counter. If you have a rolling pin, you get your rolling pin, you want to flour your rolling pin and knead your dough, knead it out. And you want to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. So that's good, because what we're gonna do now, you cut it into sections. I make my job, because I've been doing this for a while, a whole year, thanks to COVID. I cut it into sections.
There's no rhyme or...
No.
Just cut.
Yeah, just cut. Yeah, because we will cut off the excess once we start putting it in the pan. So I spread it out. You could use your hand, or you could use the rolling pin to make sure. And then you line the pan. So once you have all of the spots in your pan filled, you're gonna take a spoonful, and fill it in. Okay, so once that's done, so we wanna take our extra dough, we're gonna cut thin strips, and I use it as the lattice for the topping. So once you have all of your tarts in the pan, the eggs that was set aside, you're gonna use it as an egg wash. You take your brush and you just dab the top of the dough. This helps the browning while it's in the oven. And we're gonna slide it in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes.
And there you have it, coconut and pineapple tarts. And now it's time to munch.
Davina, I have to try it to really believe it. That's all I'm gonna say. And that's gonna do it for us here for news, or that is. We go now to Jay Philippe with sports.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to sports. A major track meet is expected to take place on the island of Grand Bahama next year. Some of the very top American universities and colleges will be on display. Jimmy the Music has more.
It is being dubbed the Bahamas Spring Classic, and it is set to take place March 18th to 20th, 2022. Founder and CEO of Island Relays Bahamas, Joyce Johnson, says the Invitational is a premium track and field meet that will see colleges from all across the United States, including a number of HBCUs.
We're also going to have professional runners that have committed to participating. They're going to come in, and we're going to have high school runners as well, so that we can create some opportunities for some of the athletes to get scholarships with the colleges that'll be here. We are also going to have all the colleges bring in their recruiting teams from the academic side of the house, because we want them to be able to speak with parents and students who are interested in attending those colleges and universities, so they can learn how to get scholarships, how to engage, what the cost is, and what they need to do to be successful for their college entry.
High school athletes will also be in action, and District Superintendent Ivan Butler says any opportunity that will afford their students to obtain scholarships is a worthwhile venture.
Many of our high school students will get the opportunity to participate, and so that too will be a welcome addition for us on the island, as many of them have not had the opportunity to showcase their talents thus far this year. So we are very, very pleased and happy for this opportunity for our students, and we hope our students and parents take full advantage of this opportunity.
Now, the event is expected to bring hundreds of visitors to the island, and Ministry of Tourism General Manager Stephen Johnson says this will be a great boost for the destination.
We're excited. It's economic stability for Grand Bahama, and track and field is one of those opportunities that is going to be the growth for Grand Bahama. We could feel it, we could see it, and so we're just really happy to have them here in Grand Bahama, showing them around facilities such as the track and field stadium here in Grand Bahama, hotels and other activities throughout Grand Bahama. We want to get everybody involved, and we want these funds to spread throughout Grand Bahama community.
For more information on the Bahamas Spring Classic Invitational, persons can visit their website at islandrelaysbahamas.com. Jamila Mizik, ZNS Total Sports.
thank her for always being there with a gift that sparkles from Pandora Jewelry. Spend $150 or more April 22nd through April 26th and receive a limited edition bangle free. Offer good while supplies last. See store in the Port Lacaya Marketplace for details.
Tell me not to fight the battle.
Becoming a BTC postpaid customer is fast and easy. And what's more, by signing up, the deals are instant. Tell us about some of the deals available for postpaid customers.
Well, we always have amazing deals available for our postpaid customers. We have up to 75% off any device that we carry. And you can also get up to $300 off of a phone if you're an existing customer. A new customer, you can get a free phone. And that's some of the amazing deals that we have at any of our major stores.
Let's talk again about switching over from prepaid to postpaid.
Okay, when you switch over from prepaid to postpaid with any carrier, you can keep your same number and you can come into a BTC store and your service will not be interrupted at all. Your friends and family won't even know that you made the switch.
And for new customers, what is the process like for them to become postpaid customers?
For a new customer, you just walk into the store, have a government-issued IDs, passport, driver's license, stuff like that. And once you do that, it'll be that simple. You could just visit one of our reps and they'll help you.
And tell us about some of the postpaid packages.
We have packages to suit any lifestyle and any budget. And whether you're homeschool, whether you have working from home, whatever it is, we have something here that will suit your budget.
So what are you waiting for? Visit any of our BTC locations and sign up and become a postpaid customer. It's fast, it's easy, and it's rewarding. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corbell Pyfrom. Be well, and be back here next BTC Connection.
They say health is wealth. Well, let's find out. I'm Jamila Mizik, and I'm here to take you on a journey into what it means to have complete wellness.
Industrial business is an industry where safety is priority. ADP Industrial Outfitters has the gear for whatever industrial environment you work in. FR fire retardant coveralls, your protection against fire. Chem splash suits for industrial tank cleaning and inspection. Hazmat suits for mold remediation and the medical field. And Tyvek disposable coveralls, protections against particulate matter, light oils, and hazardous liquids. All suits available now at ADP Ship Care and Industrial Outfitters. Number 19 Oak Street. Phone 824-2047.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Nicole Wallace, you are our Facebook friend of the night. We say thank you for watching and thank you for your support. And that is going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shoshana Wolf-Parkinson. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, the Prime Minister announces a trade-off, so to speak, for getting vaccinated. Illegals forewarned to follow the law. And officials get the word out about voter registration. Those stories and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, returns.
There's been a lot of public discussion about the safety of COVID-19 vaccines. Here are some of the facts. Common side effects from the COVID-19 vaccine are usually mild and temporary. These can include a sore arm and a fever. More serious side effects are possible, but extremely rare. All COVID-19 vaccines undergo vigorous clinical trials before they are put into use, and they are regularly reassessed. Scientists are constantly monitoring the data and reports to ensure that vaccines are safe and cause no health risk. Remember that you are far more likely to experience severe complications or death associated with COVID-19 than the vaccine itself. As you make your decision to get vaccinated, be sure that you are armed with the facts.
This message has been brought to you by the Government of the Bahamas in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. Portion of the news brought to you by BTC's Dollar Holla Deals.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Makush Lapenda. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks so much for tuning in. A little bit of giving and taking on the Prime Minister's end that's left travelers breathing a sigh of relief. And all in an effort to get more Bahamians vaccinated, part and parcel of limiting the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Altavis Munnings joins us live from the Church of God of Prophecies East Street Tabernacle site with more details. Good evening, Altavis.
Good evening, Makushla, and good evening, Bahamas. A race to the finish line. That's how Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, has branded government's national response to the COVID-19 pandemic. He touched on some of the components of that national response plan in a COVID-19 communication in the House of Assembly this morning. To decrease the virus's spread, the Prime Minister reiterated his appeal to the public to continue following all health and safety protocols. He even suggested to business owners to have their employees work from home. The Prime Minister also addressed the recent U.S. travel advisory from the U.S. State Department that now puts the Bahamas, along with 80% of other countries around the world, at level 4.
We've been that road before, Mr. Speaker, and we have overcome. And we know what to do. We have done it, and we will do it again.
Well, the Prime Minister underscored health officials' data that new infections are being driven by international travel and a relaxed adherence to the health measures. However, new restrictions announced Wednesday include fully vaccinated inter-island travelers will be immediately exempted from COVID-19 test requirements when traveling from New Providence, Grand Bahama, Abaco, Exuma, and Eleuthera.
Once they have received the second dose of the vaccine, or they have met the vaccination requirements, they do not need any further testing to move about through our Bahamaland. CDC states that there must be a 2 weeks delay post the second vaccination shot. However, within the Bahamas, we recognize the amount, the antibody level, and the immunity, and therefore that 2-week requirement is not necessary once you receive the second dose.
Add to that, fully vaccinated international passengers with proof of vaccination will also be exempted from a COVID-19 test once they've passed the 2-week immunity period. All of that starting May 1st. Keep in mind, though, that a negative COVID-19 test is required if an individual is not fully vaccinated.
Once individuals are fully vaccinated, individuals can participate in a closed environment. Once all within that closed environment are fully vaccinated, then the mask would not be necessary, and they can participate within that environment. That means that indoor dining can resume for those individuals who are completely vaccinated. It allows within an enclosed restaurant or wedding facility, once all are vaccinated. It also means that the cultural events that we had yesterday, where individuals within restaurants and weddings would have Junkanoo rushing through the environment, that can occur once all, including the Junkanooers, are vaccinated. And therefore, we can commence some form of normal life.
And we're reporting live from the Church of God of Prophecies East Street Tabernacle, one of the vaccination sites here in New Providence. And the Prime Minister also announced today that more vaccines are on the way. The Pan American Health Organization has confirmed to government that the second tranche of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine, which we received through the COVAX facility, and amounts to some 33,000 doses, will land here in the Bahamas before the end of May. Reporting live from East Street, I'm Altaviz Munnings. Back to you in the studio, Makushla.
Well, thanks, Altaviz. So 2 thumbs up. Changes to the country's travel protocol gets the full endorsement of the Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association. President Robert Sands reasoning that removing the requirement for fully vaccinated travelers to have an RT-PCR test after the stipulated 2-week period will have a decisive positive impact on visitor arrivals to the Bahamas. As you just heard, the Prime Minister has made a similar provision in the case of traveling to and from certain family islands, which Sands believes spells good news for the economy as Bahamians support local tourism-related businesses. The BHTA accepts, though, that until the Bahamas attains widespread vaccination, it cannot let its guard down. The U.S. Embassy here in the Bahamas clarifying the Centers for Disease Control's recent decision to issue its highest travel advisory to the Bahamas. The CDC on Monday elevated the Bahamas to level 4, essentially advising Americans against all travel to the country due to the threat of COVID-19. Approximately 80% of countries around the world were dealt the blow. However, the embassy stresses that this does not imply a reassessment of a country's current health situation, but rather reflects an adjustment in the U.S. State Department's travel advisory system to give more weight to the CDC's existing assessments. According to the embassy, this realignment reflects the current, unpredictable, and evolving threat posed by the global pandemic. Well, truth be told, New Providence and its ratio of new COVID-19 infections compared to other islands is worrying health officials. While the Minister of Health maintains the Bahamas has sufficient personal protective equipment and have expanded capacity to care for patients for a sustained period, he stresses the need to get a handle on cases. Cleopatra Murphy has that story.
With COVID-19 infections at an all-time high globally and again surging here at home, Minister of Health the Honorable Renwood Wells is expressing concern with the daily increase in cases where New Providence has emerged as the epicenter of new infections. He says cases in country have increased threefold to almost 200% in recent weeks, with nearly 60% of the cases in the capital.
Of the approximately 1,901 new cases reported from the beginning of 2021 to now, of that number, 1,079 of these have been in New Providence.
Wells says while cases are on the uptick on New Providence, they have declined in Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Eleuthera compared to previous weeks. He credited that progress to health teams visiting Eleuthera and Abaco to help contain the outbreak. Wells says officials are using several metrics to track the progression of the virus, noting that hospitalization, for example, increased.
In the beginning of January, deaths were 171. From then to now, Mr. Speaker, there has been a 13.5% increase in COVID-19 deaths. Notably, from April 1st to the 10th, 2021, deaths remain constant at 189.
That has since jumped to 194. The minister says more in-depth investigation will bring light to whether more severe cases of COVID-19 are the result of new strains of the virus identified in the Bahamas. He says the National Reference Lab is screening for variants after receiving testing tools from the Pan American Health Organization 1 week ago.
This approach is a proxy of genomic sequencing that permits rapid monitoring of the spread of variants of concern localized in a community. Although this technology enables the identification of a genomic mutation deletions and is strongly indicative, it does not permit us to specify whether the mutation is specific to the known variants of concern
Wells says what is concerning is that 80% of COVID-19 positive samples screened in the last week contained variants that have become dominant. He says beating the pandemic will depend on the public adhering to safety protocols and taking advantage of vaccines available at various centers. The minister insists the country cannot afford an exponential increase in COVID-19 cases despite the preparedness of the healthcare system. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Now for a closer look at the numbers, just as health officials have revealed, new COVID-19 infections continue to surge, with New Providence maintaining the lead. Tuesday saw 68 new cases, with a whopping 60 of them here in the capital, another 6 on Grand Bahama, with 1 each on both Exuma and Crooked Island. 7 of the new cases in the capital have a history of travel in the past 14 days. Women comprise 34 of the new COVID-19 infections and men 34. At last count, 51 people were in hospital and 3 people in the intensive care unit. On Tuesday, another 575 tests were completed, 13 of them repeats. Well, Opposition Progressive Liberal Party leader Philip Brave Davis shared some concerns he had with the COVID-19 vaccination rollout, specifically the government's selection of the 3 globally available vaccines.
If the race is between vaccinating and the spread, and you had an offer to have vaccine brought in, the entity that offered it to them is today offering it to other countries in the Caribbean. And this is a Bahamian entity. And other countries are benefiting from their access, buying power to be provided vaccine, but yet our own government is rejecting them.
The Prime Minister and Health Minister had this response to the opposition leader's claims.
Many individuals who would have offer propositions in terms of sale of vaccine. However, a lot of them had not necessarily met WHO requirements at that time. And in addition to that, they must go through a sequence of investigation to ensure we maintain the safety level of the Bahamian populace. Because if it had ever gotten out that we had accepted a vaccine that had not been approved, that would have been a different story.
Could you imagine, Mr. Speaker, if we approved someone to bring in a vaccine and there's some adverse reaction? What that would mean for this program where we are seeking to encourage the Bahamian people to go out and get vaccinated.
Well, still to come, the Immigration Minister has some advice for illegal immigrants wanting to come here, and the Parliamentary Registration Department pushes its voter registration drive. We've got the details when the National Report continues. And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour, starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch live at 5 with Amajal Knowles, followed by the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m., all right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
The $20 combo, unlimited talk, yo, to every network you know. Across the Bahamas, I got 6 gigs of data, plus unlimited chat. It's a scroll over too. Now let me check my people on Facebook and WhatsApp. BTC is where it's at. I rock my combo.
Your BTC 10-day combo is now only $20 and is supersized with a new low price.
BTC, do it again.
You know
know that feeling you get when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
With 99% of medical claims paid in under 5 days, we're like that spider that doesn't climb in your shower. CG Atlantic. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
200 government services online in 5 years. Quite an ambitious plan the government has mounted through its digital transformation project. And as Carla Palmer tells us, the $30 million collaborative effort with the Inter-American Development Bank is said to be progressing well.
Launched just 2 months ago in February, the government's digital transformation unit, spearheaded by the Ministry of Finance, is being said to be having a positive impact within the workplace and on lives. Minister of State for Finance, Senator the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, acknowledging that as a spin-off, it's been extremely busy.
Our digital transformation unit has launched its My Pilot services. The address is mypilotservices.gov.bs. This is a government platform that seeks to bring together multiple government services from different agencies. And it allows persons to be able to apply for their driver's license online. They're able to pay for it and organize the collection of it. It allows them to apply for certified copies of their marriage certificate, death certificate, and their birth certificate. In addition, it also allows for you to apply for your renewal of e-passport.
According to the minister, so far some 4,000 people have registered with the online site, the majority of them using the passport and driver's license services.
Services were launched for Grand Bahama, and we are now moving ahead with launching these same services in the Family Islands so that the Family Islands would also be connected.
The online services come amid increasing local COVID-19 cases, leaving users then with the comfort and safety of doing so from their homes.
We also recently launched the police certificate. So you can now apply online, pay the fee online, and then you will be notified as to when you can collect your police certificate.
Minister Thompson again stressed that precautionary measures have been taken against cyber attacks.
The whole intention is for us to put online as many government services as we can to make it more convenient for the public, provide these services at the fingertips of the public, and then allow people to be able to apply for these services 24/7.
Adding that he says stringent security measures have been implemented. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
Well, migrants wishing to come to the Bahamas must follow the law. The Minister of Financial Services, Trade, Industry and Immigration making that quite clear as he addressed the recent apprehension and subsequent charging of 3 illegal Haitian nationals who had decided to convert a school bus on Abaco into a home.
All future stars have been forced to endure the uncomfortable rough concrete seating. In the heat of the day, the concrete was hot, and in wet days, the area would remain damp or wet, and they have to, of course, sit in those areas. No longer will this be the case, as the first installation of proper seating at the track and field.
Well, we do apologize Labor numbers continue to be a point of interest as COVID continues to leave its mark on the business community. The Labor Director telling our Keishla Adderley what the current situation looks like and what employers and employees should consider.
Business isn't exactly booming, but Labor Director John Pinder says he's seen a dent in the unemployment numbers as businesses start to reopen.
There appears to be a reduction in the unemployment rate at this time as businesses open now and they extend some business opportunities for their employees. You notice that a number of persons were on furlough and most of the major hotels are returning back to work now. A number of business establishments that were closed down and now they have commenced operation again. And so that caused a number of persons to go back to work. Some persons who have already received packages and are moved on. The employers are hiring new persons. There's certainly a boom in the construction industry.
Those are the signs that he's seeing, but what about the numbers?
It's between the low to mid 20s right now. Compared to double that a few months ago, you know, the number of persons out, they don't have anything to do. I just remember when the taxi drivers, the hair braiders, straw vendors, the jet ski operators, the beach vendors, all of them were out of work. They were considered unemployed. Not like the ones who were furloughed at the hotels. But the ones who were furloughed at hotels, they still got a job. It's just a matter of getting back in the workplace. You see? So taxi drivers are now working. Maybe business slow, but bus drivers are working.
And while new jobs may not be in the cards for a while, Pinder says some Bahamians may have to take on a new mindset about employment, as should employers.
And I believe we could even decrease the unemployment even further if persons will take advantage of the lower paid jobs at this time until they get back to what they want. You know, we do hundreds of maybe certificates for mostly Haitians who get the lower paying jobs, you know, as relates to handymen and gardeners and farm laborers and those sort of jobs, you know. But I would like to encourage Bahamian employers who seek to hire these people to consider adding the cost of the work permit and whatever other benefit that they give the foreign worker, add that to the salary every day they can get some Bahamians. But you're not going to be able to get Bahamians to work for $210 a week. It would be hard for them to do that.
Keishla Adderley, ZNS Network News.
If you're looking to cast your vote in the 2022 general elections, the first step is registering. And there are certain things you must do to make that happen. And officials down at the Parliamentary Registration Department are hoping to move that process along as seamlessly as possible. So here's what you need to know. First of all, you must be a citizen of the Bahamas, 18 years or older, and not subject to any legal capacity and a resident of a particular constituency for at least 3 months. As for what you must bring in, that's either a Bahamian passport, the old voter's card, the Bahamian citizenship certificate, or registration of naturalization or Bahamian birth certificate. Now, in the event your birth certificate is used, you must provide your NIB card, your mother's passport, voter's card, or birth certificate. Effective Monday, April 26, voter registration will take place every weekday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the main post office at Town Center Mall, the Grandstown Community Center, South Beach, Elizabeth Estates, Carmichael Road, and Cable Beach post offices. You can also register at the Parliamentary Registration Department between 9:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. On Saturday, May 1st, there's the option of either Camp Road Union Baptist Church or Church of Christ, Yellow Elder Way, opposite C.W. Sawyer Primary, between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Hey, it's Charlie Bahama, and we are here at the vaccination site asking people to tell us their vaccination story.
Right now, it's pretty good. I mean, it's the usual little prick. I was going to cry, honestly, because I don't like needles, but the nurse who administered the shot, she was really cool with it, and she helped me to, be tough. Yes, so it was a pretty good experience, and I'm looking forward to the second one so I could hopefully have my vaccine card and travel.
Well, most certainly it's important not only to myself, but the interests of my family. I have 4 grandchildren. I would like to be around to be able to assist them in their needs if God provides me life in that aspect. And from all information that I was to have read upon, this seemed to be quite the thing to do to make sense. On the flip side of that, there's been so much terrible misinformation. And if you're not careful, you'll find yourself on the wrong side of the fence when you could have avoided complexities that may be brought about later.
You work hard. Shouldn't your money be working hard too? RF Mutual Funds are designed to put your money to work with some of the best performing investment funds in the market and a range of funds to suit your unique needs and risk tolerance. So when you're hard at work, you can be confident your money is too. Put your money to work with RF Mutual Funds. Contact us today to learn more.
At BPL, we are building for better. And that starts with improving customer relations for every single customer. Whether it's your home or business, big or small, we want you to know that you are important to us and that providing you with efficient and reliable energy is our business. Through increased efficiency and our hedging strategy, we've been able to decrease your bills significantly, a much welcome relief in these trying times.
I pay close attention to my BPL bill, and I've noticed a continual decline since July of last year. I'm so happy I can open my bill and know that it's steadily becoming more manageable.
As an entrepreneur, I've seen my electricity bills for home and business go down. This is amazing because now more than ever, it gives businesses and everyone the break they need to not only survive, but to succeed.
At BPL, we're proud of the early success of our strategic plan, and we look forward to consolidating the gains we've made. With more improvements on the way, we are continuing to build for a better future for all of us.
Basketball is back, baby, and so is NBA League Pass, only with Rev Trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free, along with incredible prizes, including a brand new 50-inch smart TV, NBA gear, and more. With tons of prizes and gear, signing up for Trio is the best on and off-court move this year. Just call 601-8992 or visit www.rev.bs/promotions/trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you. At the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Everyone's excited about the $8 meal of the day. Every day, it's a different 6-inch sub, plus chips and a 20-ounce drink for just $8. That feels like fresh value. Come in any day of the week for one of your favorite 6-inch subs. Like turkey breast, meatball marinara, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, Black Forest ham, Italian BMT, oven roasted chicken, and tuna. Then add chips and a 20-ounce drink, and you've got the $8 meal of the day. A great meal at a great price every day of the week. Only at Subway.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
miles on everything.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Corporate Bahamas stepping in once again to make the transition to hybrid learning a little bit easier for students. CG Atlantic Group of Companies, the latest business to donate electronic devices to 4 schools here in New Providence. Students of Centerville and Palmdale Primary, Center for the Deaf, and the Aaron Gilmore School are the recipients of the laptops and tablets. CG Atlantic Group of Companies has been a long-time patron of Centerville Primary, but this time they wanted to expand their reach to schools and students often forgotten.
It was important for us as a corporate entity to assist the Ministry of Education in its effort to ensuring that each Bahamian student had a device in their hand in these unprecedented times, Minister. And as you mentioned, Centerville is special for you, but I want you to know that for us, it was also very important that we took care of our community.
Minister of Education Jeffrey Lloyd commending Corporate Bahamas at large for their contributions, as this most recent donation totals 40,000 plus devices in their supply.
It is because of you today that we are now pretty close to supplying every student in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas with a device. Because of you, Corporate Bahamas. Linda, that's some 47,000 devices, and only 15 could have been provided by the government. Thank God for Corporate Bahamas, who themselves had their own challenges in the pandemic.
Well, famous jazz singer Nina Simone perhaps said it best. Jazz is not just music, it's a way of life. And there's a group here in New Providence for whom such words hold true. Crystal Darling reports.
It's just great to wake up every day and do something you love.
Nothing can come close to the satisfying, sophisticated sound of a live jazz band.
For us, this is our passion. We're very passionate about music. And we love what we do. We love entertaining people. And most of all, we just love being musicians because we feel the music ourselves, you know?
The group met while at the then College of the Bahamas, where they decided to take their passion for music to another level by becoming an official band.
When it comes to at least being a musician here, it's not as respected as it should be, you know.
Director Victor Johnson says while it is not a traditional 9-to-5 job, they are doing what they love.
It's called a hobby, but as you know, this is our full-time job.
A career in the arts might sound like a lot of fun, and Johnson says it is, but there's a lot of planning and preparation that goes into it.
9 a.m. to 9 a.m. It's like all around the clock because we have our personal practice time, band practice time, lots of stuff like that. It's crazy. I think versatility is one of our main selling points as a band.
Essence has dreams of becoming the Bahamas' premier jazz fusion band.
We try to touch a little bit of everything. Jazz, R&B, Junkanoo, soca, Rica's great.
Having the ability to perform funk, rap, soul, pop, rake and scrape, soca, reggae, dancehall, country, and many other genres.
My favorite genre? Oh, that's so hard, but I would have to say jazz. simply because of being a pianist. It's so beautiful just to hear a jazz piano play, you know.
Johnson says the group draws inspiration from Ella Fitzgerald and Miles Davis, and the modern-day jazz and R&B artists such as Layla Hathaway and Robert Glasper. And he looks forward to the future.
Well, we're trusting and believing that we can just continue to do what we love, whatever that looks like for us. We don't know what the future holds, but we're a faith-believing band.
Crystal Darling, ZNS Web Media.
Franklin Pierce University in New Hampshire awarding the Member of Parliament for St. Barnabas, Shannon Dawn Cartwright, with an honorary doctorate of law degree and the Honorable Walter R. Peterson Citizen Leader Award as part of the university's 2021 commencement exercises set for Saturday, May 15th. President Kim Mooney said the 2001 graduate has shown personal and professional accomplishments which provide examples for students to admire and hopefully emulate. Cartwright also holds the distinction as the first person of color to serve as chairman of the university's Judicial Board. During his time at the university, the now St. Barnabas MP also received the prestigious President's Award for Leadership and Contribution and was named a New England Collegiate Conference Academic Scholar Athlete for men's basketball as he served as the university's assistant men's basketball coach. As we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
The Bahamas Bureau of Standards and Quality, or BBSQ, ensures better business practices in the Bahamas through the development and promotion of voluntary and mandatory national standards. Standards are guidelines which ensure that goods and services are produced with the safety of consumers and the environment in mind. BBSQ has developed standards for the manufacturing of bottled water. All vehicles brought into the country are also subject to standards. We have protocols for the poultry and egg production industry. National standards also apply to the construction industry. We are setting quality management and quality assurance guidelines to ensure that medical laboratories are competent. Standards help businesses to reduce expenditure, improve customer satisfaction, access new markets, reduce environmental impact, increase market share, and innovate. For consumers, standards provide improved choice, lower costs, greater assurance, compatibility, consistency, and better product information. We believe that standards matter to everyone, everywhere. We are the Bahamas Bureau of Standards and Quality, where quality is our standard.
BBSQ, coming for through. You, for me.
Hey guys, it's Shay again with another quick tidbit on the perks of being an Alive customer. Now, if you're already on our network, this may just be a refresher for you, but if you're not, this might give you that extra push. If you're interested in getting a bill every month, or you're interested in the best prices on some of the latest devices, or if you've been a little bit interested in that auto pay option, this might be for you. It's time for you to join Postpaid and experience opulence.
Simply put, being an Alive Postpaid customer means you selected the plan of your choice and you then pay for that plan routinely every month. Unlike prepaid, where you can fluctuate between 7-day and 30-day, all postpaid plans are 30-day plans. So what are some of those postpaid plans? We have our Liberty More, which is $59.99, gives you 10 gigabytes of data, 500 talk and text minutes. Or we have our Liberty Premium, which is $99.99 per month and gives you 20 gigabytes of data, 1,000 talk and text minutes. Or we have our Liberty Elite, which is $149.99 a month, includes unlimited data, talk and text, and 1 gigabyte of roaming data. Again, all of our plans include unlimited Alive to Alive calls and text. Now listen, we also have postpaid MiFi plans. That's right. If you have a MiFi device, you can purchase postpaid data plans, MiFi Basic, MiFi Plus, and MiFi Preferred. So what else can you look forward to? Even though we are still practicing social distancing during this time, as a postpaid customer, you not only have access to exclusive offers and devices, but exclusive invites to virtual events hosted by Alive in partnership with local vendors and access to special offers at many vendors on our List Rewards app.
So there you have it. If you're a prepaid customer and you've been thinking about making that postpaid switch, we hope that this helped. If you're not an Alive customer, what are you waiting on? Alive, believe in best.
Well, it's 2 more hours of leeway for Abaco residents. This is Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, announces an extension to that island's curfew. Instead of returning home at 8, residents now have until the 10 p.m. hour. North Abaco Administrator Therese Boutelang says this not only spurs excitement from residents, but bodes well for local business owners.
The hours had to be adjusted to accommodate them being indoors during curfew hours, and so it was impacting e-commerce on the ground. And so it allows them additional hours to be able to undertake business and move along with our recovery effort and normalize activities on the ground. So that makes a whole lot of difference.
Administrator Boodle added that this change is indicative of work Abaconians were putting in to try and keep those COVID numbers down.
My observation is that persons during business hours were truly adhering to the rules, the mask, wearing the hand sanitizing even during worship. And so I believe that the majority of Abaconians have been doing their part because they wanted to see this happen. They wanted to see lighter restrictions, and they want to be able to move forward and move away from these restrictive measures.
Well, at last count, over 800 Abaconians had received their first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccination. That, according to Central and South Abaco MP James Aubrey, who says he's looking forward to the second dose, which officials have pegged to begin late next month. It's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. We have a fall boundary in the vicinity of the extreme northwest Bahamas, and that's working its way very, very slowly towards the south, and we will tell you more about that later in the newscast, so stay tuned. But outside of our studios right now, we are under cloudy skies as the clouds continue to increase. 81 degrees is the current temperature, relative humidity at 83%, north-northwest winds at 6 miles per hour. The barometric pressure, 1,015.7 millibars, that's 29.99 inches. And your pressure is rising. Temperatures around the islands this evening, well, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 79 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Green Key in Abaco. Marshall Abaco at 78 degrees. 80 degrees in the Berry Islands, 80 in Alistan, Bimini, 81 in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera, Alistan, Cat Island, Stanley Key reporting 83. 83 is also in Kemps Bay, South Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. San Salvador, Rum Key, and Georgetown, Exuma, 81s as well, 82 in Ragged Island, Clownstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Meguana, 81, Acklands, 81, 82 degrees in Matthewtown, Inagua, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 81 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight, well, it's brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwestern islands tonight, the winds are going to be northwest to north behind that front. 10 to 15 knots will be the speeds, and your wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Over the ocean, low tide will take place at 9:53 tonight. In the central Bahamas, southeast to south winds, 10 to 15 knots, wave heights also at 2 to 4 feet. In the southeast Bahamas, southeasterly flow 10 to 15, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And then as we take you into Thursday, which is tomorrow, the winds become easterly behind that front at 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights unchanged at 2 to 4 feet. Low tide 10:44 in the morning, high tide at 4:46 in the afternoon. For the central islands, light and variable winds, flat seas 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. In the southeastern islands, southeasterly winds 10 to 15, and the wave heights at 2 to 4 feet. Now, as we take you into Friday, for all areas of the Bahamas, we're going to have that zonal flow. That means winds blowing out of the east speeds at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet with no caution flags in place. Low tide on Friday at 10:01 in the morning with a high tide at 3:42 in the afternoon. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures. And they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
All day I've been home with these little big hips. And he reached me. Well, anyway, I gonna fall down the road to see if he down. This place down the road. And if he down there, there gonna be some problems. Because guess what? I got a headache and I tired mine. Every other night, Andrew would call round 8. Tell him nice little wife he gotta work late. But he go to the bar to catch a few with the boys. Let dummy know.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Discover the possibilities.
Discover the possibilities.
Discover the possibilities.
I discovered the possibilities.
I discovered the possibilities.
This Easter, the hunt is on at Ashore Win. Somebody's gonna be lucky when they enter our Easter Extravaganza raffle.
Ready? Set. Go!
Stop into your favorite Ashore Win location from March 30th to April 30th and win over $50,000 in cash and prizes. The perfect Easter basket stuffer can be yours. Come on down and let Ashore Win bring out the winner in you. Ashore Win, the short way to win.
We're ready with the newly remodeled reception area. We're ready with your safety as our top priority. We're ready with state-of-the-art equipment, cutting-edge technology, and an enhanced patient information platform with online access to your reports for your physician. At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we're ready to serve you. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call to make an appointment today.
Imagine. That's where every advancement begins, with an idea that things can be different, better, now. Imagine a world where your entertainment experience was all about you, your style, your show, at your budget. At Rev, that's what we've imagined. To join the conversation and learn more about the future of Rev TV, visit us at rev.bs/imagine.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center. Welcome to sports. Well, Bahamian Lou Rawls Tum Tum Nairn Jr. returns to his high school alma mater, Sunrise Christian Academy, as a new head coach for the school's postgraduate basketball program in Kansas. Nairn spent the past 2 years at his college alma mater, Michigan State University, as a graduate manager for the MSU Spartans men's basketball team. He served under head coach Tom Izzo. Nairn, in a post, thanked the school executive director, Dr. Rob Lindstead, and coach Luke Barnwell for buying into him and giving him such an opportunity. After graduating from high school in 2014, Nairn chose the Spartans to play the sport he loves and furthered his education. Nairn appeared in 137 games during his MSU career, starting 66, including 30 during the 2016-2017 season when he was a junior. Nairn helped to guide the Spartans to the NCAA Final Four in 2015. They lost to eventual champions Duke. Known for his leadership on the court, Nairn then earned a spot in the NBA after graduating from MSU. He worked in the Phoenix Suns player development department. And in July 2018, the senior men's national basketball team guard put on his Arthur cap and released his autobiography, Purpose Driven. In news from the NBA, DeAndre Ayton totaling 20 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 block in 40 minutes of play. The Suns' 128-127 win over the Bucks. Ayton with a big bounce-back game in the Suns' win over the Bucks, putting up a much better performance than his effort against the Spurs. Ayton, also who was banged up in the game, spoke about the gritty win.
At the end of the day, we love to compete. And, we came off a bad loss versus the Spurs, and we wanted to shake back and, get back to doing us, doing the things we do best. And, games like this, you're going to get banged up. And, me, I love it. To be honest, everything was really basketball plays. And, it's our culture. We really don't give up. There's a lot of relentlessness on this team. And that was just a sign of me, just doing what I do best. That's just part of our culture, just pushing through and, fighting over adversity. Coach always say anything you want is on the other side of hard. So that's what we did together.
And that's a look at sports.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Cooking something new or whipping up a family favorite? Great meals start at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Quaker Oats, 18-ounce size, $2.99. Amerlanda Fresh Milk, 1 liter, $1.39. First Choice Sugar, 4-pound bag, $2.09. Danish Spare Ribs, $2.59 per pound. Aberdeen Bacon, 12-ounce pack, $3.49. Open Monday through Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Double stamps on Sundays, Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
The $20 combo, unlimited talk, yo, to every network you know. Across the Bahamas, I got 6 gigs of data, plus unlimited chat. It's a roll over too. Now let me check my people on Facebook and WhatsApp. BTC is where it's at. I rock my combo.
Your BTC 10-day combo is now only $20 and is supersized with a new low price.
BTC, do it again.
With 99% of medical claims paid in under 5 days, we're like that spider that doesn't climb in your shower. CG Atlantic. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we look at our satellite picture. You can see lots of cloud moving through the northwest Bahamas. The first is a frontal boundary, rather weak one, moving through the capital, and that is pushing our winds now out of the west-northwest. But there's a secondary front, which is still just to the north of Grand Bahama. That will be pushing through later on tonight. Could possibly bring some late-night, early morning showers to the area. And once that goes through, we will see a slight decrease in temperatures over the next couple of days. Our forecast for tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy on the humid side, but 1 or 2 showers could develop, as we said, during the late night and early morning hours. Low temperature tonight getting down to 73 degrees, and tomorrow we're looking at variable cloudiness with some showers around, even possibly an isolated thunderstorm as that frontal system takes that slow trek towards the south and east. The high temperature tomorrow should get up to 83 degrees, and your extended weather forecast over the next 7-day cycle, we'll see showers in our forecast through Friday. By Saturday, things will start panning out quite nicely with a lot more sunshine in our forecast, and that will take us right through the weekend and into the early part of next week. But there's yet another frontal system that's coming through, and that will take place sometime on Sunday night. You'll see temperatures peaking here at 86 degrees during the daytime. After that, they drop off to about 84 degrees during the day as that frontal system goes through on Sunday night, and that will be of a somewhat dry nature, but it will bring some relief in terms of temperatures. We'll see temperatures once again in the upper 60s as of Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Makisha.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team here, thanks for watching and good night.
I know this isn't right, but it feels like it.
Oh, baby, hold on. Before you go in, I got a masseuse in there. Baby.